Hi, Deb here, and happy 4th of July almost for my American subscribers. And this American loves 4th of July. So I decided to feature Thomas Jefferson, appropriately so, as he did write the Declaration of Independence. He had a little help from Ben Franklin and John Adams. They threw in ideas, but it was his writing and his skill to write it. I have featured two other Thomas Jefferson dolls. This one is in one of my first videos. I think it was called the 4th of July. It's real not good video. I forget who makes this doll. It's not Mego. I thought it was, but I looked it up and it wasn't. And this amazing doll is made by the U.S. Historical Society. You can find him in a video called Founding Fathers. It's in my Historical Figures playlist. But this is a F&B, isn't it? Good. Do your homework, Deb. Yeah, it's F&B. Right? No. Okay. U.S. presidents. F&B. Of course it was. You doubted me? They did a series of presidents. I have a video of presidents called F&B presidents, but I didn't have this one then. And this is Thomas Jefferson. Hefty doll. Boy, F&B knows how to make dolls. It's probably why they've been doing it for so long. Here's fabric knickers. Excuse me, and layers of clothes and snaps and buttons. This is great. I mean, just great. And he still has his tag, a little bit about him. And it lists George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, Dwight Eisenhower, Harry Truman, Thomas Jefferson. So I have all of these except George Washington, the first one. I'll get to work on that. Okay, Thomas Jefferson. Too much to put in one video, but I'm going to try. Born April 13th, 1743. Isn't that the day that Abe Lincoln died? I mean, not 1743, obviously, but he died July 4th. 1826, on the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And he died just before John Adams, who died. James Monroe, I believe, also died on July 4th. And James Madison died on June 28th. But little Jimmy Madison, he was ahead of everybody else anyway. He's my favorite founding father. Okay, his father died when he was 14, so he kind of had to be a grown-up pretty early. Let's see, he considered his home Monticello his essay in agriculture. His wife died in 1782, and on her deathbed she made him promise never to marry again. He had 6 children with her, only 2 lived to adulthood, and Sally Hemings, an enslaved woman at Monticello, who was also the half-sister of Martha, only she had dark skin, and apparently very much favored Martha. Sally Hemings did. They had 6 children together. 4 lived to adulthood. 2 were born white. And when they reached adulthood, he freed them because they could live as free people. No one would question it. And then the other 2 were freed in his will. Let's see. I can't read my own writing. He was a Democratic Republican. People, if you read his writings and history, calls him a Republican, but he was actually the father of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Republican Party became the Democratic Party, so he's basically the first Democrat. He was the vice president of John Adams because he came in second in the election. Back then, the first person to get the most votes was president. The second was the vice president, even if they weren't the same party. did not work so well. 4 years later, he became president on his own. He owned 6,500 books, which he sold to the Library of Congress after the War of 1812 destroyed all the books. So basically, the Library of Congress is based on his book collection. Let's see. Louisiana Purchase was one of his most important contributions as president. He was an inventor. He invented the polygraph, the wheel cipher, which was a decoding thing, revolving chairs with armrests. Everybody who works in an office, Thomas made it more comfortable. Automatic doors, which I'm going to research that because I don't understand how that worked without electricity, and how to plow on a hillside, which was very important to agriculture. Okay, quotes. The slavery issue is hard for me to get my mind around because he loved freedom. But that's true of most of them. Most of the founding fathers who owned slaves knew it was wrong. So, and this is what he said about slavery. I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just and that his justice cannot sleep forever. It's very confusing to me, but he was married, and on his tombstone, he was specific about what he wanted, and he wanted it to be, I wrote that down somewhere, author of the Declaration of the American Independence, of the Statute of Virginia for Religious Freedom, and the father of the University of Virginia. No mention of being president, secretary of state, none of that, but some people feel those things were exclusively his, so I think that's why he chose them. And my quote for him is, I have no fear that the result of our experiment will be that men will be trusted to govern themselves. So, complicated man, but he was a large reason America exists. So I am talking about Thomas Jefferson today, my FMB Thomas Jefferson doll. So I hope you like, comment, subscribe, share, follow me on Instagram and all that stuff. And I hope everybody in Canada had a wonderful Canada Day, and everybody in America, happy 4th of July. Celebrate it. It's important. Okay, till next time, toodles.